Good afternoon, welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. Much attention, Congressman Jorge Mendez voted no to President Gustavo Petro's tax reform. Here is why.
We cannot support this tax reform, as we do not support the tax reform of 2021.
The parliamentarian Jorge Mendez expressed his negative stance due to the great impact this will have on tourism, which is a major driver of the island's economy.
The Archipelago Department of San Andres is the one that has suffered the most from this. We have been affected by the pandemic, we have been affected by hurricanes, we are being affected today with this reform that will increase consumption, and the first line that will be affected is tourism, which moves 90% of the economy of the islands. I do not understand how today we are being so irresponsible to process a tax reform that is going to stop the economy, and that is going to generate unemployment, and that is going to create a very serious impact on the island territory.
The parliamentarian also stated that the Cambio Radical party is unable to understand how at this moment they are processing a tax reform, taking into account the world economy, recession, and the critical moment that the archipelago is going through due to the price of the dollar, since 70% of this consumption that arrived to the island is through the dock, and the rates of the same are dollarized.
And after a long Seaflower 2021 expedition, the Coralina Environmental Corporation presents the results obtained by exploring the deep sea, where they analyze the marine ecosystem.
The Corporation of the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago of San Andres, Sur Providence, and Santa Catalina, Coralina, through the Subdirectorate of Seas and Coasts, presented the result of the work carried out during the Seaflower 2021 expedition in Bajo Nuevo and Bajo Alicia, where roof technology was used.
Hoy estamos presentando los resultados.
Today we are presenting the results of the work conducted by Coralina and the Special ROV company during the Seaflower 2021 expedition in Bajo Nuevo and Bajo Alicia using RUV technology. The deep bottoms were explored in search of queen conchs and the analysis of mesophotic ecosystems, which are those that are at depths that today represent a cradle and an alternative for the conservation of our ecosystems. Among the results obtained in this research is the development of an artificial intelligence module for the certification of queen conchs in depths greater than 30 and up to 100 meters.
It should be noted that amongst the results obtained in this research is the development of an artificial intelligence module for the identification of the queen conch at depths greater than 30 and up to 100 meters.
After the Rizal Council requested on several occasions the visit of the United Nations to the department, the call of the Rizal people was answered, where this morning they meet with the visit of ambassadors from Ukraine, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Belgium, the United States, among others, in addition to the presence of the Human Rights and its work team.
With the purpose of contributing to the visibilization of the human rights situation of the Rizal people, their concerns and management proposal, and addressing issues such as overpopulation and the Rizal status, the government of the islands, the Rizal Council, and the Rizal Authority, together with United Nations embassies and representatives of the UN Human Rights, unite.
Today we have the visit of some representative from the United Nations. We have been writing different letters and asking for them to come and see the situation of the Rizal people in their ancestral territory for a long time, and at last they accept to come and visit us. And they invite some ambassadors from different countries in Europe so that they could also accompany and listen to what is happening and see in what way they can support the Rizal people for us to have a dignified life in our ancestral territory. Everything started first about the human rights of the Rizal people and the rights of the Rizal people on our ancestral territory. We have lost all our rights on our territory other people rule in our territory because we are a minority. Well, I say all time said just in number, because in my ancestral territory I should never be minority because the entire territories belong to the Raizal people. So but as we know, the nation overpopulated our territory intentionally, and now we are not, they overcome us numerically, but we continue fighting that someday we will be able to rule in our territory, and we will be able to take the decision on our territory with laws that protect the indigenous people in the entire world.
The event will be held until 5 p.m. today with an agenda that includes conversations among those present to try to find agreements for the benefit of the Raizal population. The governor of the department and his office with different secretariats attended as guests of the organizers of the consultation space.
And in other news, the National Narcotic Fund chose San Andres as one of the 3 national meeting places to evaluate inspection, surveillance, and control act of special control and state monopoly medicines. Said inspection is carried out at the territorial level and was developed this morning in the auditorium of the departmental government.
In order to prevent the diversion of the illegal market of controlled substances and medicines containing them, including special controlled medicines, the FNE 1903 investment project is being implemented. San Andres was host of the second day of unification of criteria for structuring the inspection, surveillance, and control model.
The National Fund, in accordance with what was established, designed a surveillance and inspection model that should govern at national level, for which we summoned the health secretariats, particularly the drug revolving funds, to provide them with this model tool so that they can begin to strengthen their inspection, surveillance, and control processes in each territory on controlled products, medicines, and controlled substances. From the fund, we design what are going to be the instruments to monitor wholesale establishments, retailers in process of dispensation, commercialization at territorial level of medicines, and controlled substances. At this moment, we are accompanied by 7 revolving funds such as Bolivar, Magdalena, Valle del Cauca, among others, in which they discuss what are the basic items to monitor this type of establishments that we all agree, and with this we can ensure the availability of these drugs nationwide and ensure that there is no diversion to the illegal market. And with this, we contribute to patients to improve public health and access to these drugs.
The event took place in the facilities of the Coral Palace in the presence of several insurance and pharmaceutical companies. San Andres was chosen, taking into account the strengthening of the islands in terms of inspection, surveillance, and control.
In the morning hours of today, a scientific meeting was held under the ONDAS program, where hundreds of students from the island participated.
The first municipal meeting of projects for the ONDAS program this is an initiative of the Ministry of Science that seeks to develop scientific vocation of children and adolescents. At the event, hundreds of students from the island showed their project, which seeks to provide solutions to problems presented on the island. The representative of the National University Caribbean headquarters for the development of the initiative in the archipelago made a statement.
We have 67 research groups. Tomorrow in Providence, we expect to have 13 groups presenting themselves as well. All the lines of research obey the particularities and concerns of the archipelago. We have research in the environmental, health, food security, and children's and adolescents' rights areas. We also have other types of research in science, technology, and innovation.
The Secretary of Education was present at the set highlighting the children's projects.
It is a project that has 1,257 beneficiaries, along with 84 teachers with researchers, which is allowing our students to improve their research skills that was so lacking in the department. This encounter will allow our students to be motivated and exchange knowledge with other students. The idea is that from this encounter, they will move on to a departmental encounter, then a national encounter, and finally an international one.
This coming November 4th, the ONDAS program will hold its municipal meeting in Providence at the Hunin School, where the scientific research carried out by the students of this municipality will be exhibited.
And for 3 days, the Secretariat of Tourism conducted a maintenance operation at Rose and Hines Key, which was completed and fulfilled its main objective, which was the cleaning, embellishment, and beautification of this tourist attraction.
After the closure of the natural attraction to the public, the Tourism Secretariat with its work team took the opportunity to carry out the removal of dry vegetation, pruning of green areas, maintenance of the access dock, among other activities, supported by tourism service providers, the Colombian Army, and the National Navy, in order to receive tourists and residents who visit this attraction.
El balance general es...
The general assessment is positive. When we arrived here, we saw that it was not possible to finish in 3 days. We had to extend, but thanks to the exercise, the National Navy and the same tourism providers and the Secretariat of Tourism, we achieved the goal, and thanks also to the Secretariat of Public Services and its operational staff arrived, and we are doing everything necessary to finish what was left. And so tomorrow we will have the car open to the public without difficulties.
During the maintenance operation, they were able to remove from the attraction several materials and waste, such as...
Logramos extraer...
We were able to extract various types of ordinary waste, such as cans, plastic, and bottles, and we were able also to extract special waste, such as parts of furniture, chairs, and other special items such as plant material that we did not take out of the quay, but we put them in a special place for the species of the quay.
It should be noted that these events are held several times a year in order to maintain this tourist attraction.
Boys and girls of second grade of the First Baptist School were motivated in their entrepreneurship fair today, a space dedicated to strengthening entrepreneurial thinking in children and young people.
With 10 stands of various enterprises, the students of the First Baptist School enjoyed their break thanks to the fair developed this morning with the second grade children. The different stands were filled with juice, cookies, ice cream with fruit and chocolate, cakes, dessert, and many other products.
Today we got one entrepreneurship fair. The PE them from second grade, they got different stands where you can find different sweets and come the light to sell.
The children had the support of their teachers and parents to choose their ventures and make them known.
I believe it's very important because he embraces an opportunity for them know how it is to have a product, to sell it, to have also the opportunity to interact with other people selling and doing other things, and also by themselves acknowledge that they're doing a work, a job.
Children were the happiest with the variety of products available for their delight.
A buen gudon with esa paleta with chocolate and bag of chocolate and like so. I like because they didn't go make things and then give me money for the school. Me buy fresa con helado, agua de granizado. I like the pastelitos there.
The fair was a success and the small entrepreneurs were satisfied with the profits they made.
After a short commercial break, we'll continue with sport news with Victor Fusalba.